A U.S. Air Force officer saved a woman's life after she collapsed and coded at an airport in Alaska. After being out last week, we're back with another edition of Good News Friday, where we get to talk about good things that service members and veterans are out here doing to ease us into a nice weekend. This week, the story comes to us from Airman Raina Dale on Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Alaska. It begins with Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Strohmayer, who is an anesthesia flight commander for the 673rd Medical Group at J-Bear, and he had just landed in Alaska after traveling from London. He was waiting at the baggage claim, looking forward to heading home when he watched a woman slowly fall to the ground and not get back up. He rushed over and was joined by a civilian emergency room doctor, and the two began life-saving procedures while emergency services were called. Strohmayer started with a jaw thrust, which is used to open the airways of an unconscious person by tilting the jaw without tilting the head, just in case they sustained a spinal injury. Once that was done, the two began oropharyngeal suctioning, which clears out any saliva from the airways so that they don't choke on their own spit. With their airways open, they moved on to using a bag mask ventilation system, which you've probably seen before because it's that thing where they put a mask over your face and they pump air into your lungs via a bag, and then they inserted a nasopharyngeal airway in the nose, which most of you might be very familiar with. I'm not sure where all the medical equipment came from, but if I could venture a guess, I'd say they probably used the AED kit, which typically contains CPR equipment like the bag mask and a face shield if mouth-to-mouth is required. At this point, the patient was conscious and aware, but to keep her that way, they continued with CPR until EMS arrived to take her to the hospital, where she was able to recover. In an interview, Strohmayer said, "I've helped people medically before, in airports and just out and about, but that was the first time doing a code like this outside of the hospital." For their efforts, both Strohmayer and the emergency room doctor that helped were awarded the Chief's recognition from the Chief of the Anchorage Airport's Police and Fire Department. That's going to do it for this week's Good News Friday, but we'll be back next week, and if you have anything that you think we should talk about, go ahead and send it to my email at kyle.gunn@taskandpurpose.com. Until then, we hope you all have a great weekend, and we invite you to check out taskandpurpose.com, where we have a lot of stories by and for the military community that you can read, and of course, you can follow us right here so you don't miss anything.